Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Tonight I want to share with you a clip from a recent live event where me and Jim got into it with my YouTube members. If you want to be part of these conversations, you have to join my YouTube membership on my community tab. We meet every Thursday night and we tackle whatever topics people want to get into. Tonight we talked about validator nodes and the future of Splinterlands, decentralization. This is huge. The opportunity here is gigantic. I'm thinking about buying multiple validator nodes. The NFTs themselves, you're going to want to pay attention to this because this has implications for the price appreciation around SPS, around vouchers. These are indirect income streams for people who are within this space. Even if you just hold cards or play the game, you're going to have interest in what happens to those tokens. And so make sure you pay attention because this validator node stuff is going to affect you, whether you're new or whether you've been here for years. Without further ado, let's get into it. But my name is Dwayne Cunningham and I go by Infidel 1258, and on the channel we cover Splinterlands all day, every day, because it's changed my life. Thanks guys. God bless. Ooh, speaking of investing, we were talking before the video. Are you interested in investing in one of the oh, I keep thinking the word server, but it's validators.
Nodes.
Yes.
Yeah. I am very interested. Now it comes down to how many do I want to get?
Yeah, I hear you.
So
What do you have a number in mind? Like I was thinking, I was just listening to, like I told you, Tales from the Cryptomancer, and he was talking about the prospect of running multiple on one decentralized server. So you don't even need to have it at your house, right? You can run them. Oh man, that's a nasty miss.
yeah, they were saying something about like connect it to an Amazon server or something like that.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much that is as well. So
Yeah.
Because it would have to be worth it for you. Otherwise it's like, oh, I'm doing this to just have it run on however much it costs for Amazon.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know, but I suspect it wouldn't be. They've probably thought that through. Splinterlands has probably thought through the pricing around where it's at and what the cost of that would be, and said to themselves, this is kind of a trivial reward. Like I often say with all the Splinterlands rewards, they aren't. It's not like you play this game and you're rich after a day. And I bet that's how running the servers will be.
Yeah.
But for the people who are willing to say, I love the game, I believe in the game, I've got some capital, and I have the know-how, then those individuals are going to position themselves where they have that reoccurring income within this ecosystem that they trust. And that's kind of where I'm at, but I don't have that. So I like the game. I believe in the game. I want to invest in it, but the fourth thing I said is that have the know-how, and I don't feel super competent and confident about being able to figure that out, although I'm kind of tempted to give it a shot.
And it's also like worst case scenario, you sell it.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah. Or you can sit on it for a little bit and then sell it.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Once it gets to like, oh, if you want one, you got to buy it for $10,000 from Splinterlands, or you can go on secondary market and buy it cheaper if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not a whole lot cheaper, most likely, but you could be like $9,000 rather than $10,000.
Those numbers are so crazy, and I think you're right.
So yeah, that's why I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, I kind of missed my opportunity with the Gala Games nodes, because I knew about that stuff pretty much as I was getting into Splinterlands. So I learned about Splinterlands, learned more and more about blockchain games, looked more and more into it, came across Gala Games, but I didn't want to get, and they didn't even have like any games other than Townstar, and I wasn't the biggest fan. So I saw that they had a node system, or their node license, and at the time it was like $8,000.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, that would be sick. But I was like, wait, but I'm not actually playing anything. And so that's when I started looking more at Splinterlands, and then I invested, more than more than the 8 grand. But then I go back and look at how much the nodes are now, and it's like $90,000 or something like that. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
and you've been buying SPS lately, so you have a little bit of a little nest egg that you could put to work if you were so inclined.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty interested. Oh, and
Yes.
so I know when we were talking about land, I wasn't like too into it
Mm-hmm.
because, we don't know what the returns on it are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and why I'm really liking the validator nodes is because they've pretty much given us all the numbers that we'd pretty much be using.
Yeah,
So
they made it. They articulated the proposition, the value proposition, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they talked about it's 3.75 million, so a little less than 4 million per month. And then 10% of that is going to be allocated to like the top 50 people, essentially.
10% of it is to the top 50. What, when we say top 50, what do you mean by that? Like the most favorable or
So,
desirable?
it's what is it? It's the voted. Yeah. So it's in that post for the rewards. So
Mm,
should I just wait till we get to that point to talk about it?
yeah, you know what? Let's okay,
Chat, we're gonna wait. All right, I'm not gonna give spoilers right now.
let's
This is
see.
very important stuff, and it's a lot of stuff to go over, actually.
And King Matt is talking about the voucher price pumping on it. So there's lots of angles to go about to talk about this issue, which is super cool. So if anybody, thank you for the help, Dwayne, and make sure you're selling the first 2 levels sell out right away. That will lock up 90% of SPS, and then that would be crazy. Oh my goodness. Artisam's comment is huge. King Matt's comment is worth diving deeper on. And Jim, I want to
Read
talk about.
Artisan chat.
I want to. Sorry, what was that?
I said I didn't even read Artisan yet.
Yeah, he's talking about Bulldog and how it's gonna, when the first two ranks of these validator nodes sell out, that will have implications for SPS being locked up. Now, I don't understand that exactly because I don't fully understand what is required of somebody who's running a validator, but I guess do you need to stake SPS? Are you surrendering SPS in the process? Like, I don't know what that means, but he's talking about an SPS price pump due to validators. Something I like to hear. This is it, right? Peak D?
Yeah, that's the one.
Away. Splinter, okay, validator node overview, license price, proof of stake, DPoS, delegated proof of stake. Very quickly, for you guys probably know, but this will be clipped later. Not everybody will know. DPoS is the idea that, hang on a second, it says right here and it'll be better. SPS governance will work via delegated proof of stake, DPoS, set consensus model, very similar to that of networks such as Hive, EOS, and BC, I guess Binance Smart Chain, and many others. This means that any account with staked SPS tokens can vote for accounts that are running validator nodes in order to elect the people or entities that will be responsible for validating all the SPS transactions. So these people end up committing a certain amount of resources to the system in the form of running servers that support the network, and we vote them in through, usually you vote them in through a weighted vote based on how many of the tokens you happen to hold. SPS would be your that would decide how many votes you could cast. And on Hive, you vote with your Hive power, and so on. And so it's like you can choose guys who are representing you well, who are doing good things for the community, and you can kick out people who aren't. So it's a great system, and it works way more quickly than kind of like Bitcoin mining, where there's like it's a totally different system, and it's way more, this is way less energy intensive and can allow faster transactions, and it's scalable and so on and so forth. So it's a really big improvement, and it's one of the reasons why Hive is so awesome and why Splinterlands really works. Validator nodes license will purchase with a combination of, we will purchase them with a combination of SPS token and vouchers. Yeah. And there's a scale to that pricing. There's a pricing schedule outlined below. 80% of the SPS tokens and 100% of the vouchers tokens spent on node license will be burned. This must be what he was in part talking about. The fact that there is a reduction in the SPS and the vouchers that are being given to Splinterlands to buy these validator nodes is a deflationary pressure on those two supplies. We are deleting SPS, we are deleting vouchers, and that means that there is less supply, and like we always talk about on my channel, less supply at the same time increasing demand is a recipe for price appreciation. And 20% of the SPS tokens will be put into the SPS Foundation. Wow. So most of it's getting deleted, and 20% of it's going to go back into our hands as SPS holders. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Well, it's going to go into the foundation, which then we get to vote on with the Rift Watchers.
Yes, which is why I say our hands, because we as SPS holders will, yeah. But to be fair, I'm glad you clarified that, because it's not airdropping on people who have SPS. It's going into a lockup that can theoretically be spent by people who have SPS and who want to vote on certain initiatives, providing proposals to the validators. And those validators then will oversee kind of a democratic process that we would like, it's essentially the governance process would decide through their votes and through our hiring of certain validators which initiatives go through, and then how we spend that money. Or maybe that we don't spend it. Possibly we could burn it. We could tell them we want to burn all of it. And that would be, again, a deflation on the supply. 20% go to the SPS Foundation, reserved specifically to be used to continue incentive SPS validator nodes. So it's being used to incentivize SPS validator node operation. Okay. When the 3 billion SPS token cap. Okay. So the idea is that we know the SPS is going to reach a cap, and when it does, which is 3 billion SPS tokens away, in 5 years, we will have built up a little egg, what's that expression? A nest egg of SPS sitting inside this safe reserve inside the, what's it called again? Foundation. Yeah. And then we can pay those node operators even after SPS is no longer being printed. The licenses will be NFTs that can, this part is crazy. This is so amazing. The licenses will be NFTs that can be freely bought, sold, traded on secondary markets, which is what you already talked about, Jim, but it just blows my mind that we're at a place now where, you know, that sort of, it's like business 2.0, where we're now, you can like literally buy in. It's like buying shares. Elon's buying stocks at Twitter, and like maybe he's gonna buy Twitter. It's something like that, where you're like, no, I'm gonna buy access to represent this company because I believe in it and love it so much, and at one point in the future, maybe I'm gonna sell that. I love it.
It's crazy that, like, we think about the blockchain as where it's at now. So many people aren't even thinking about it because they're just like, oh, NFTs are scams.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, sure, like most of the ones out there aren't going to be a thing, you know, a few years down the line. It's just pump and dump, or it's a scam completely, or, you know, whatever other reason there is for it. but it's like the technology that is behind it, all it is, or all it takes is you have to find that one good company.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to know that they're good or have faith that they're good. And like as of right now, it's hard to do. But like
Yeah.
this technology, like you were talking about, is absurd.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it's not being properly utilized by most agencies, most companies, most games. Maybe they're just selling superficial, meaningless, worthless, like zero utility NFTs. But it can be utilized in a very amazing way where like this, like there's a functional game that can generate revenues, and then it has an attraction and a use case, and there's a certain player base and all of that, and then hopefully a positive future and all of that. Then it's like, hey, I want to buy in and be part of this thing and see some revenue opportunities from it through owning this NFT. But then at some point in the future, maybe I get done with that and I've got an obvious and easy backdoor where I can leave and not affect the game, by the way. It's like, it's not like the fact that they can resell is a bad thing for the game. It's actually an awesome thing, because it means if that validator gets sick and tired of running it or can't, that can be that validator NFT can be passed on to somebody who wants to. That's huge. It's amazing. System is similar to node license structure. Used to be number of projects, which I'm not reading anything there that I feel is super important.
You're gonna be able to set up scholarship programs for the nodes.
I guess they could. Is that what? Are you seeing that? Like, I really think that kind of makes sense, right? You would.
As weird as it is to say, it's like, could you have someone else, just maintaining it?
Yeah, like what if I bought 10 validator nodes and I said, I need 10 people who can run it. And if you are causing, like if there's interruptions on your node, or if you're down, so many times a month, then you're gone next month. And I'm going to put it in somebody else's hand. And you can split I'm going to give you the $200 a month that you need, or I'm going to give you the $20 a month that you need to run that for the server. And then we're going to split the balance or something like that. I don't know. They for sure that makes sense. You're right. Rewards, as mentioned in the SPS white paper, there are 3.7 million SPS tokens per month allocated to the reward pool for SPS validator nodes, and 10% or 375,000 of the monthly total will be allocated to block validation rewards for the accounts that receive staked SPS votes and are assigned. So I just saw a question in the comment section about this. Betelgeuse was saying like, I think he wanted to know more about. I thought 3.7 million was going to be for the licensed nodes only, and the other nodes had a separate pool. It looks like,
never mind. He reread it.
Yeah. Okay. Because it does. Am I reading it right that there's 3.7 million and 90% of them are going to go to the people who bought?
So if we look at the 10%, right? We take away that 10%. 3.3 million is going to be going to everyone.
Yes.
It's just those top 50. So once we get to the next paragraph, we'll see the people that have been voted in, they will be getting that 375,000.
Gotcha. Like a little bonus.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That makes sense, because then it's like community members. See, that's great too. This is brilliant. The people who wrote this stuff, it's really, really shocking how brilliant this is, because you're creating an opportunity and to have FOMO and excitement from investors who have money to spend but maybe haven't been here since day one, and then they can sell it later. That's all great. We talked about that. But this is like, and if you're super popular in the community and you support the game and everybody knows you and everybody trusts you and you're making great decisions as one of our validators, we can vote you in. Like, you don't need to buy your way in. That's an option, but you don't need to. And if you're one of those special people that we really trust, you're going to get a little bonus, which is, dude, this is so amazing.
Hope everyone votes for me. Okay, let's make it happen.
Please know that it will always be possible.
Oh, and we're getting to the part I really like. We're getting there, Dwayne.
You can earn from both. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
License holders will receive an equal share of 3% through some months.
Oh man, it's coming out. It's coming out.
In addition,
There
the
it
SPS
is.
rewards a new pool of 20,000. Yeah, the 20,000 vouchers per
This is
day.
sick.
Yeah. So
just having it, right? You're now getting a part of the 20,000 vouchers every day that other people will not be getting.
And if we, so there's only 2,000 being sold, 2,000 Validator nodes being sold within the pre-sale. I think those probably sell out pretty quickly because like just look at the price increase like on the scale here, and just looking back at land and just looking back at, land was the last time I did this, I think, where and then SPS before that, where they did something like this, where it was a tiered entrance. Chaos Legion had something like this, but it wasn't cheaper packs early on. It was just more airdrops. So this is cheaper.
It kind of was.
What do you mean?
Because if you used SPS, it was a sale.
What, Chaos? Because Chaos used SPS, it made it
so for
cheaper.
Chaos Legion during pre-sale, I believe it was, if you used SPS to buy it rather than credits or DEC, you got a 10% discount.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. But still, this is a big. This is, look at $1,000 versus $3,000. That's a huge difference versus $575.
So, but now if we look at the 500 vouchers as of what they are now, they're pretty much like $2 each. So the 1,000 plus the 2,000, if it's 2,000, then it's 1,000 on top of it. Why am I thinking $2,000? So yeah, $2,000 versus $3,000. Yeah.
So I'm following you, but for the sake of clarity, you're talking 1,000 SPS because it says right there, and then 500 vouchers at current market price of $2 per voucher is another 1,000, so $2,000 for one pre-sale currently, given current current SPS and voucher pricing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the price is moving to 3,000, which is a 33% increase, or it's a 50% increase. But you get a voucher discount, so you can pay with vouchers. Correct me if I'm wrong about this, Jim. I think this is true. You could come in and you could pay SPS. You could pay $3,000 worth of SPS, or you could pay $3,000 worth of vouchers. Is that true?
No. So we can scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
And they even state that it's a cap of 50% discount.
Okay. Perfect.
So yeah.
So, but this is huge because it brings us into the voucher conversation, because clearly we've been saying on my channel, and I think you have agreed, Jim, vouchers are one of those things that you don't want to not have. And I know you sold them, Jim, because you wanted some SPS, which is, to be understood, like that's an opportunity. You're moving from one opportunity into another, and I get why you did it. And I didn't do it. I kept all of my vouchers because I didn't know what was going to come, but I knew something was going to come. And this is totally one of those things. But it's like, this is telling me that very soon vouchers will be selling for about $2.50, $2.70 on the Hive engine market. And that will be a triage play for people who are interested in buying these. And then also, thereafter, it's gonna continue to go up and up and up. And this is just voucher utility from this perspective, but there's also voucher utility from, remember, we're gonna need vouchers to get Rift Watchers, and there's also gonna be other new projects that require vouchers too. So man, vouchers, guys, this is, and then to come full circle on, because this conversation started because you were saying how cool this is, that they're going to be printing 20,000 new vouchers a day that are only given to these validators.
Because now look at it like this, right? If you get the node super early on, right? You're farming every single day, and then towards the end of the month, you're getting a huge lump sum of the SPS. You're getting a bunch of vouchers as well that no one else is having access to. And now you can be like, I want to go buy another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you're able to farm up the third one twice as fast. And then you're able to farm up the fourth one even faster. As long as, you're still able to get it for relatively cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. This thing, if you had a mind for investing in this, and this is how I feel about Splinterlands, what you just said, where it's like you can get, a small amount of reward can be snowballed into a very significant reward if you reinvest in a wise way over a long enough time horizon. And if you were to come in, like I've been thinking, how much at Liquid SPS can I get? How many vouchers do I got? And where are we at? Like, because this looks like a serious opportunity to me. And I think at first, like I said earlier, I don't know if we said this on camera, Jim, or if we talking about beforehand, but it seems to me that the Amazon servers are probably priced around because Splinterlands would have thought this through. They would have thought, okay, well, how much would it cost to run a server if you're doing it through like an Amazon type service? They would have thought that through and priced it out so that they could have adequately and logically priced these validator nodes. Like, I bet it really is around $2,000. You know, it probably is across I heard like I said, Tales from the Cryptomancer talking about it, and he was saying that you probably would make your money back around, I think within a year. I think he said 9 months even. And that was based on SPS prices earlier, and they've gone up a little more. So vouchers. So if that's the case, actually, I think that might have just been based on his SPS, because I don't think I'm forgetting now. Anyways,
I was gonna say, because for the vouchers, so if we're just saying the 2,000, right?
Yep.
It takes you a little less than 2 months to get the vouchers, because you're getting pretty much 10 a day.
Yeah. So you're saying like across 2 months you'd get your vouchers back, which means it's really, how long would you get the 1,000 back?
Yeah. So you'd get 600 vouchers over the course of 2 months, paying for the 500 vouchers that you did, and then 100 on top of that.
Gotcha.
So however much the vouchers will be at that time. So it seems as if you'll get it back in about 2 months.
That's pretty crazy. That's really crazy, in fact.
It's like 3 months for sure.
But then we're not calculating in that, you're not calculating the cost of the servers. And so
true.
I don't know what that would be either, but I suspect if Splinterlands has thought about that, and they've made it so it's profitable still and worth your interest, but that, you know, it's clearly not going to be exactly what you just said, because there's a cost. There's a cost of doing business. But still, there'll be some kind of profit, and if you're wise about it, and again, if you want to double down on this game and continue to reinvest what you're earning, you're right, you could get more of them. And if you had 5 or 10 or 20 of these things and you were pumping out, dude, how it sounds like it'd be pretty easy to generate $2 to $4 to $6, you know, even $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
For probably 10 grand investment. Like, I'm thinking $200 per server.
Insane.
And you probably could buy 5 servers for 10, like we just said, 10 grand.
And then we're not even talking about the price of the license itself going up.
Oh my goodness, Jim, this is crazy.
'Cause now it's like, oh, we get to the 4th tier of it being $10,000. Well, now the 1,000 you spent on yours is now gone up, that you could now sell it for like $8,000 on top of that.
You're exactly right. And so it's like, and not only is your point right, I think it deserves to be underscored, because not only like will or could it go up, but I think almost, I would say definitely they will go up. But but I want to, like I usually say, the caveat is, if the game continues to persist and the future and development of the game continues to thrive, as I expect it will, then that feels like a layup to me that these validator nodes would appreciate. And so you're right. Like you can, it sounds like you could quickly add up amazing monthly, life-changing monthly revenue off these nodes. And then as the price appreciation happens on the node, you could go ahead and say, oh, you know what? Like I want to get some capital. Maybe I want to buy a house. Maybe I want to, and sell a $2,000 node for.
I'm doing it. I'm buying 5.
I might too. I need to see what my situation is. Viking Ginger wants to know if we're going to be pooling our money and going diversifying the risk. I think at this, Cameron, I'm not sure I see where the risk is. Like I honestly am like, this to me looks like a layup. And again, that's in large part because I have great confidence around the development of Splinterlands and the future of it. Everybody needs to hear that, because it's not a layup if they are going to screw up the game. It's not a layup if you don't trust Aggie and Yaba. If you don't trust the direction and the forecasting that they're providing, then it's not, it's very risky if you don't trust those things. But I trust those things. And so I don't see risk. I see this is free money. I just need to bend over and pick it up. And I need to figure that out, because it seems to me like for probably the sale of my kitty and maybe like a couple other cards, I could pull off 5 of these puppies. And it would suck, just like you were talking a minute ago about you having sold those vouchers to get your SPS gem. But you did that, and then I guess your SPS pumped to like 10 or 20% too. So it's like you move from one opportunity to another, and we're all trying to do our best. Like maybe it doesn't work out right away, but you're just trying to make your best decision. But I might, let me see how many vouchers I got. I have 952 vouchers.
Coin's ready for 2.
And I've got a boatload of, see what I got. Where's my wallet? I have $4,000 in Hive right there. Dude.
You're
that
ready
right
for
there.
2 instantly.
Wow. And then I've got 300 chaos packs right there, and I've got 1,000 more. I don't want to sell the last 1,000. I got 5,000 SPS right there. Jim. The question really is how fast they're going to sell out, because if I can get, I'm ready to go for 2, but how fast are they going to sell out? Is there more to that, or did we cover it?
One thing, Beetle, he says, yeah, SPS okay here, but voucher poor. You know, you got to turn some of that SPS into vouchers and just make it happen if you have enough to, do it.
Mm-hmm. This is the thing, guys. Even if you're not, so if you're not doing what I'm describing, and I'm not certain I'm doing it, but I really hope that if you're listening, you're hearing a really amazing opportunity, because it's not just an opportunity for people who are going to buy validators. It's an opportunity for people who hold vouchers currently. It's an opportunity for people who hold SPS currently, because of all of the trickle down stuff that we just talked about, the voucher discount rate and how that'll impact the floor for voucher pricing. Now, I'm not saying as soon as they have a floor of $3, they'll sell for $3 on Hive Engine. That's not true, because this is only going to apply to 3,000 people who will want to buy validator nodes, and not everybody cares about that. But this will improve voucher prices. It'll lift the floor, and it'll keep getting higher and higher and higher. That's a great thing for people who are in Splinterlands and who are earning vouchers for free anyways. And then SPS is going to benefit, as we said earlier, that money that's going to be piling up, the assets that's going to be piling up within the foundation due to that 10% or whatever it was. There was a 20%. And yes, that's 5 years from now. That's supposed to fund the validator nodes after we cap on SPS. But 5 years is a long way away. And in the meantime, this huge amount of money is going to be piling up in an account that we all have keys to, that we all have like cosign power over. That's really amazing. And it's going to attract, I think, international attention to Splinterlands, because there's this fund that is held by the game and players that's going to be in the tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars, as SPS reaches $1, $2, as other cryptocurrencies that are in that fund also grow. It's crazy. This is so wild. This is really gigantic news. And I didn't even hear about it until today on my way home. Yeah, it looks like that's pretty much it. Let's just...
The best part is, on Wednesday we'll be going over it more.
Mm-hmm.
We just got a week.
You mean during the next town hall?
Yeah.